Páisí Cheannaigh Nelson a machchan na spórs le luachleasach. Mr. Vernichi rééis an athrachuig ar son Pócal Cuidearman.
I did it for maybe around 6 years, I think, like competitively. And I just kind of, like, I loved it for a long time, don't get me wrong, but there was just a point where, like, I actually remember this specific day, like, I was having a bit of troubles with my mental health for a little while. And then I remember like having this one specific training session where I was just like sat at the side of the track and I was like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And even when I got home, it was still the same. Like normally after I've trained, I feel really good. But it was this monotonous circle of like, I would go and train to try and make myself feel better and do what I loved, and I just hated it. So I thought, right, I need to change something. And what I did really like was the weight sessions they would get us to do. So that was maybe like once a week, maybe not even that. It was something like that should have been a lot more often than what it was, but it wasn't. And I really, really loved that. And I thought, like, why don't I try and do that all the time? When I looked at it at first, I knew I wanted to compete just because it's in my nature. I definitely take that from my dad. I always say that. He is so competitive, actually worse than me. But yeah, I just knew there was no point. I wasn't going to train as hard for it if I wasn't going to compete in it, and I was going to kind of like do it half-heartedly. So I thought I'll go in with the goal to end up competing. So yeah, had to just go all in from there.
Agus Annie an a bhí Pócal Cuidearman ar a bhí íontach, sa creitin inse héin barach is barach a thula bliana.
It's only the past couple of competitions that I've actually felt like really, really confident in my own capabilities. Before it was kind of like, have I maybe got here by fluke, by chance? Did I maybe get into this position because someone else didn't do as well? But now I'm more confident in the fact that no, it's because I'm actually good at this. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's pretty mad to look back actually. Like if you'd told me when I first started that I'd be in the position I am now, I would have thought you were joking. Like there was no way that I saw myself in this position at all. I remember actually looking at the Scottish records when I first started, just so I knew like what the kind of top end in the country was. And I remember seeing the deadlift record was like 170 kilos, and I thought, oh my God, how the hell does anyone ever lift that? But now I can squat more than that, and it's not hard. Like it's actually, like the way your perception changes is crazy, and I'm just really grateful that I can do all of this, to be honest.
We got the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Ha Pócal Cuidearman ar cuideachh misneach Annie, ha inis ar sair luachleasaige bhríochtain ag léal da hudas, ais haidir bheach go do chuideach an spórs is slán.
Yeah, really proud actually, and it's like one of the first times I've been able to say that. Like I'm really proud of how well I've done. Because when I did sport in the past, it wasn't. I didn't quite feel like that. Whereas this like really means a lot to me, and I know that I've put in so much work, so I can be really proud of that. I would say like powerlifting's really, really helped my battle against mental health. It's like it really keeps me on track. So it gives me a focus, I would say, and the biggest takeaway that I get from it is like how empowering it really is. So like compared to like a lot of sports, powerlifting is very black and white. Like if you do better at something, it's so black and white that you've got better because there's more weight on the bar, or it moves in a different way compared to what it usually did. So just knowing that like, yes, something might feel heavy, but I'm stronger. Like it's going to try and tell me it's too heavy for me, and it's not. There's something like quite empowering about that. So that has massively helped.
I dhéanann na chola níos a tríoch, bheadh Annie de déalaga le buíoch ar lainne, a thug droch bhuaí oran táiseach.
So at the start it was actually really, really hurtful. It was never anything like that deep, to be honest, but it was always like from the same type of person who'd always say that I was gonna, you know, end up in a wheelchair by the time I was 30 or something like that, or like I'm doing this wrong, like you're lifting fake weights or something like that. And like at first I was like really hurt by it, and I would genuinely be really upset. But now I just laugh. Like I genuinely don't care now. And like a lot of the girls who are in the same position as me now still get the same amount of like comments online and stuff, and like we all laugh about it now. But at first, like when you're a beginner to something and you're not quite sure where your feet are yet, it can really take quite a hit on you. You're going to get people telling you that you shouldn't be doing this, and they're going to be chucking their opinions at you left, right and centre, but do not listen to them and like keep going, because you'll probably achieve so much more than what you're imagining right now.
Ha Anya nóchus gun téid barachlaníon a bhrosnach agus teach an spórs. Agus nach téid Anyachug mar spórs firinta san námnú teach.
I think especially this sort of sport where it's usually male dominated, and a lot of people who aren't involved in the sport look at it and think like maybe a girl shouldn't be doing that, I don't know. But I think it's really important for girls to do it. Like, not only is it really good for you know, your health, like your bone health and everything like that, it's also, like I say, it's so empowering, and I think it's really important that more girls get involved in the sport to help it grow as well. I want to try and push that as much as I can. Like, it's so silly, but every night, like before I compete, I'll make sure like I've done my hair, my nails are done, I do my makeup before I compete. Like, I don't care how silly it might seem, but I think it's important to like show that you don't have to be a certain kind of person to go and do this sport. That you can do whatever you want outside the sport and still go and do something that's maybe a bit male orientated and still love it. So.
Ha Annie Tangle is na hula jolas a huari tro spórs. Agus ha gamas bána bhónachug ag kwarpas in na crinnes an tamlú teach.
It's been a whirlwind, to say the least. I think the biggest thing that is like stuck out to me is the amazing places in the world that I've been able to travel with it. Like being selected for GB, I went to South Africa last summer for Worlds, which was amazing. And I've been to lots of different places and met lots of amazing people, so it's been unreal. So first one I've got this year is British Championships. Now, even though that's just a national comp and not an international one, it's still really, really important, because that's how the head GB coach picks the team for that year for Worlds and Euros. So I just need to see how that goes first before I start looking ahead. I don't want to assume anything. I would really like to medal at Worlds at some stage, as high up as I possibly can get. I know that there's really stiff competition, but that kind of inspires me. Like, I wouldn't look at the girls who are doing so much better than me and think, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'd look at it and see they're showing me that that's capable at this sort of body weight and this level. So I look at them and they really inspire me too.